Hey guys, Steve here from the turtlefollower.com with the weekend update for November 22nd. So, if you guys haven't been following me on Twitter, you could probably hear it in my voice. I have been sick for the last week. I've been trying to go to work, and that's about all I can do. I'm exhausted all the time, so I haven't been putting any videos out. I'm going to just try and get through this weekend update and then try and rest for the remainder of the weekend. But that's one of the things. I know we've talked about it before. The real key with the system that we trade is how well it performs when you really don't do anything, right? The biggest thing is get in the positions, you manage the positions, and you just let them work. So this week was a perfect example. I haven't traded, we haven't bought, sold anything. I did a little bit in my personal account in my options, but to be honest, at the end of today, Friday, I'm completely out of all my call options, and I'm just in my stock because I know this week was a little bit rough for me, and I just want to take that off my plate. Don't even want to think about it until I'm doing better. So as far as that mentality is, you got to understand that just like a professional athlete, you have to be at the top of your game all the time. And obviously when you're sick, you're not at the top of your game. So with that said, that's why we kind of just try and trade a little bit less excuse me, here and there. But so like I said, as you'll see, my voice will go in and out as it's doing now. Sorry about that. I know it's sexy for some of the ladies and maybe some of the guys out there listening to this. I told my wife that I was going to be doing the video, and she had to watch out a little bit, and she really didn't seem too concerned. So, with that said, I'm really going to try and keep this to a minimum, and get us into like a hybrid type weekend update here. We're not going to have a watch list this week, just for two reasons. One, I want to keep the video short to spare you guys some pain. Two, next week's a holiday week here in the U.S. We have Thanksgiving next week, so the markets will be open Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. They'll be closed Thursday, and Friday is a half day. So just remember, volume is very important. We don't really talk about that, but a lack of volume next week could make some pretty widespread moves. So I just try and stay away from the week altogether. So as far as our portfolio goes, I've updated our performance here. All right, so we closed the week $103,072.35. We're up 3.07 as compared to the S&P 500 or the SPY, which is up 4.28 since we started here in the beginning of July. So you can see we've had a regression, and we're trying to catch up to that SPY benchmark, as we've discussed in the past. Very difficult to beat a benchmark. Just it assumes 100% investment all the time. But it's just nice to know where we are in comparison. As far as our positions go, right now we have 1, 2, 3, 4 positions that are oh guys, I'm sorry about that. That are to the point where we have 4 losses. The remainder are positive. All right, right now, if we took the average of what we have, we're looking at a 0.68 positive R. All right, good looking setup there. Good looking for a portfolio going forward. One of our best performers right now is Ross Stores. Had some great earnings. We'll go over that chart in a minute. L Brands also up 13.58, just about the same. All right, another one that had some good earnings, been on a tear. Apple up 10.45%. All right, so you can see we have some nice 6%, 8%, 8%, 6%, 7%, compared to these losers where we're down 1% or 2%. And that really is the name of the game. All right, last week we updated some of the stop positions, so those are all current, and we'll see if we can raise some stops in some other areas and take this open risk down a little bit more. And you can see across the top our diversification still in 17 trades. Biggest sector that we're involved in right now are the staples, discretionary, and financials. So as far as the portfolio goes, looking great. As I said prior, we're keeping the margin use down. All right, we're using 30% margin. At this point, that's fine. And I don't really foresee it going much higher. All right, I talked about maybe adding 1 or 2 more positions, probably 1, if that. But right now, with the tear the market's had, we're up $6,500 in open profit. I'm not really looking to add too much more risk, especially, as I said, with the Thanksgiving week coming up. So let's take a look at the markets, and we'll take a look at our positions, raise some stops, and then we'll get out of here. All right, so after I cleared my throat off of the microphone, let's see if we can keep it without getting that frog in there again. So S&P 500 futures here /ES, and you can see the run it's had. All right, this past week it hasn't disappointed. We've moved higher almost every day except for, it looks like, Wednesday. And you can see here on the weekly chart, we opened the week at, 2033.25, and we closed it at 2061.75. So almost a 30-point move this week. Again, nice week for us. Well above the 50-day moving average. You can see how far we are also above the 20-day moving average. All right, so as much as this looks great, I do think, as we've talked about in the past, we need that rest. All right, we need to at least see some type of sideways movement. Maybe it happens now going into Thanksgiving week. Maybe we can get back in around this 2040 and allow these moving averages to kind of catch up, provide some support prior to breaking out maybe in December. But for right now, to come as far as we have off of the lows at 1860, we do need a rest at some point, and that's fairly evident right now. Especially with today. Today we had an opening gap. We were up about, I think it was 18 points at one time, and we closed down or closed up 10. So still closed higher, which was great, but there was definitely not as many people looking to buy those highs. And if you really think about it logically, is that surprising? I don't think so. I know I wasn't. If I was a swing trader or something, I wouldn't be chasing those highs for 2 reasons. One, it's a Friday afternoon or a Friday. We had some selling going on in the afternoon session, and second, it's the day before a shortened week. So why put the risk on? All right, just kind of take some profits here and there. Go into the week feeling good. We've had a great run. Why kind of ruin that? So that was my analysis of why we kind of sold off in the middle of the day, and sure enough, towards the end of the day, we picked it up. You can see here on the NASDAQ a little bit of the same story, but we closed much lower. We were only up 4 points. All right, and again, you can see how this is starting to level off. Okay, we were real aggressive coming back, and now it's slowly starting to level off, which is fine. Again, I just want to see some consolidation there on the NASDAQ as well. Same story on the Dow. Came up real nice. Now we just need to see some sideways action and let these moving averages catch up. And the Russell up 1.5. You can see same thing. Exhausted itself and tried to close back above that 1172 area. Couldn't do it. So right now this is in a consolidation, which is not surprising because we're at resistance. Right, here's some resistance here, and here's some resistance back here. 1195 and 1170, 1180. So not surprising to see some type of resistance here. All right, so if the Russell moves sideways a little bit longer, fills in this box over here, and then can break out over 1180, then then we have all 4 indices firing on all cylinders. So again, market wise, you really need to see a rest here. That doesn't mean our stocks need to rest, but as far as the markets go, in order to sustain this long term, we definitely need to see some type of rest. All right. Now, as far as our positions go, there's not much we could say about what's going on here. Apple, just continues to move higher. This is a great move out of this consolidation. This is why you just make sure When you get the signal, don't worry about what happened in the past. Just get in and let the rest take care of itself. So here you can see it hasn't even come close to touching the 20-day average, moving average. This was one I actually had call options on, and for the call options I use a different set of moving averages. I'm going to be putting together an options trading tutorial e-course. That's also on my list of things to do. So the sickness hasn't helped that cause, but we're definitely trying to put something out for options and for stocks, just to kind of get you set up, get you started, get you going in both worlds. But again, this was one I had call options on, and I actually I think I sold it here on this 11.14. So you can see I caught a great looking move and doubled my money. And that's the power of options when you use them the right way. But as far as our stock goes, you can see we moved our stop up last week, all right, from 95 to 101.24. And now, right now, not too many other areas to move to. Next one that I'm looking at is probably right around here at this 107.70, but gotta wait for that 50-day moving average to catch up. Abbott, this one broke out, came back, so this one's just kind of hanging out in here. For right now, that $41 stop is fine, and really don't read too much into it. It's got to either consolidate or break out, but we have some definite support areas in place before our stops hit. So for right now, we're okay. ACE, this one just continued to move higher this week. You can see almost every day except Friday, or every day except Friday, new highs. All right, and this is something that we'll go over in the options course, but you can see here how I put in this nice tight consolidation above this 20-day moving average. I bet you if you look at my charts for options, this probably consolidated right around the 8 and the 21-day moving average, and then we got to break out higher. So that would be your trigger, same as a stock. Just trigger here, buy a call option, and ride it. But you can see those secondary consolidations are quite important. CB, all right, this one just continues to move higher. Very nice. One of the problems here, again, similar to that LUV trade that we had, very little in the way of references for stops after 94. All right, next area of consolidation, believe it or not, is all the way up here at 101. All right, so it's got to consolidate for a long time to get us to move our stop up to 101. More likely what happens is we get a pullback down to say the 98 or 97 level, and then a lower or a higher low put in place. Costco just continues to move higher. Okay, again, moved our stop 122 to 128 last week. That one's looking good. CTAS just continues to consolidate around this breakout level. All right, so if we can get a breakout, let's call it over 74.03, that would tell me that this is a higher low around here at 70, and we'll be able to move our stop up. But for right now, it's just sitting there consolidating. Home Depot, disregard this long tail. That was a misprint. But you can see here, pretty much secondary consolidation after that long weekly breakout. Right, had that breakout from the weekly chart right in here, and now it's consolidating. So if we can get that break over, let's call it $100, that allows us to add to our position if we want to, or new positions can take entry on that. But for right now, 91.06 is our stop. Again, if we can get that breakout over 100, then we'd be able to move that stop up to 95.59. Kroger, all right, moving higher. You can see nice looking move here. This week was pretty much consolidating, and it's been doing that, and that's fine. All right, as I said, it's nice when you have some type of consolidation. You need that rest after these moves like this. These rests are very important. It's better than it pulling back. The fact that it's going sideways and not pulling back after a move like this is very evident. Now Kroger, we could probably take and move our stop up, but for right now I think we're going to leave it. We probably could move it to this 54 area, all right, using this 3-day. So let's do that. Duplicate drawing. Let's move it up to 54. All right, so 54 will be our new stop in Kroger. Let me adjust that here because I always forget to go back. Kroger, 54. All right, so you can see here, locks us in with a $12.60 gain. L Brands, all right, they had earnings this week, popped nice. Sure enough, Friday closed lower, but again, you can see a series of consolidations going higher. Here was another one towards the beginning of the week that earnings, broke out on earnings. So for right now, again, good looking chart. We have plenty of areas of support in there. For right now, we're going to leave it. 68.33 is our stop. Lilly. All right, this one's moved pretty much nowhere since we entered. Just kind of pulled back a little bit. We entered, I believe it was here on the 10th. All right, and it's just kind of come back. So you can see that the trend line is higher. So let's see what actually transpires with Lilly. I don't know if it comes back and tests 64 or if it just kind of consolidates and catches up to that trend line. Lockheed Martin. Last week we were able to move our stop up to 176. And again, you can see we have the previous highs, the 50-day moving average, and trend line support all above that. So for right now, LMT just kind of resting. Nike's had a hell of a run, all right, since we entered. Really hasn't looked back. And again, one of the problems with that is it's very difficult to raise our stop. For right now, 83.75 is going to be that stop. Eventually, I think it's going to become this $90 level. Maybe next weekend, but not right now. NSC broke out and just come right back, tested that trend line, very similar to Lilly. So it's just resting right in here. All right, 108 is the stop still. Pepsi. Now Pepsi, we're going to raise our stop. We're going to duplicate the drawing, and we're going to raise our stop right to, I got two lines there. There you go, 93.75. So we're going to call Pepsi 93. Pepsi, stop, 93.75. All right, that raises our stop in Pepsi. You can see a 50-day moving average. All right, so that gives us a little bit of room, but it also puts us well above that 50-day, that trend line. All right, so if we're considering this trend line, which I don't think that trend line is necessarily valid anymore, because you can see the acceleration it's had, then we're well above the trend line, so this is an aggressive stop. If you're considering, like myself, that the trend has changed and become more aggressive, okay, then I think 93.75 is a good level. Ross Stores, winner chicken dinner. All right, you can see Ross Stores had earnings today and blew out earnings, up 7.3% today, and half of what we are up in the stock we made today. So we entered here, simple breakout, and we're able to get a nice move higher. We're going to take that stop. Oops, wrong thing. I'm going to trail that stop up one more time. We're going to be above that 50-day moving average for a couple days, but this 50-day moving average is going to move quickly above 79.50, just because of how high stock is right now. So for right now, I know it is above the 50-day, but I would say probably give it maybe 3-4 days, and we'll quickly be right at that level. So 79.50 is going to be the new stop in Ross Stores. All right, two more, and then I'll let you guys go and stop listening to me hacking around over here. SPG, right, pullback, stop is still 164.75. That's fine. Last one, Travelers, move higher. Okay, again, you can see it had this secondary consolidation right up here. It looks like it tried to break out today. So for right now, though, you can see that 95.10, good stop. next level, very similar to, I forget which other trade we had, maybe CB. Wouldn't be up till 102, so probably looking at a pullback at some point in the future. So that's it for tonight, guys. Thanks again for sticking with me through this. I apologize for not putting out more videos, but as you can hear, I'm not in 100% health, so that definitely has taken a back seat. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you at least got something out of it. Again, thank you very much for dealing with my sniffles and my hacking over here, but I definitely want to get something out to you guys. All right, have a great rest of the weekend. Rest up, and hopefully we'll see you on Monday for a video. All right, take care, guys.